catch the crumbs. Catch the crumbs, y'all. Catch the crumbs, okay? All right, y'all. All right, welcome back to Keisha's Crumbs. So tonight we have another holiday type of treat, a recipe that you can use on your holiday table, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas. Been up since 4 this morning. So this is quick but delicious. A lot of people make this particular item, but I'm not afraid to say that I have never had any that tastes quite like mine. Even when I make a basic recipe, listen to the added details that I provide. Listen to catch the crumbs. Catch the crumbs, y'all. Catch the crumbs, okay? And so today we are making deviled eggs. All right? All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do, of course, is we are going to take the yolk out of our egg. So you may be asking, well, how did you get the egg so perfect? There are a lot of different techniques that people use to prepare their hard-boiled eggs. I'll put a couple of ways on the screen. I'll be honest, I don't have a way that works for me consistently. I know a lot of people, they say they do. Some people put salt in their boiling water. Some people put a splash of vinegar in their boiling water. Different people have different ways of getting their eggs to come out smooth. Other people don't put any of that in the water, but they tell you to either make sure that the water is a certain temperature when you first put the egg inside of it, or make sure that you cool the egg down immediately after it finishes boiling by running it under cool water. That's what makes the membrane come away. I know that I've tried that to like shock it, and that just don't work for me, so it must be some time associated with it. But anyway, I'll put different ways on the screen, and then if that's just not something you're interested in doing, trying to figure it out or test it, and you don't want to make a bunch of ugly eggs trying, then you can always purchase hard-boiled eggs. Now, they aren't hard-boiled eggs already made for you aren't the most economical choice. You know, they're somewhat pricey, but it's a cool choice if you're not having to make a lot. But deviled eggs are just such a great option, easy, quick option to go on your holiday table, because it almost, you know, it has the ingredients of a salad, like what a salad would have, or you know, condiment, some type of mayo-based sauce. I had a friend in Arkansas, or I have a friend in Arkansas, I should say. I have a friend in Arkansas whose aunt always makes their family this famous mustard sauce to go with their holiday ham. And it is literally a tradition in their family. So that's what I think about, you know, with deviled eggs, their filling. But Just a nice compliment to what you may be serving on your holiday table. I like how they are versatile. You know, you can choose to just stuff them with your egg salad, or you can put different types of things on top. And which, if it weren't so late today, maybe another day, another time that I do an egg video, I'll show you different varieties. We'll make a variety tray of deviled eggs with unique toppings. That'll be fun. Maybe that's something we can do after the first of the year. But I'm just taking them with my fork. Now, I'll be honest, you know, some people put their yolks in the food processor, in which I do have a food processor. But y'all know I like to do things by hand. But besides that, you know, if I wanted to just completely smooth, that's the thing to know. You can zap this in a food processor. Get one, but this is all I do, y'all. I just take my fork and break it up. Because even if I were to take the time to zap this in a food processor, I still have relish to put in there. And relish is chunky. Now, y'all tell me down in the comments, if you see this video, just share with me. That's something that everyone can respond to. Even if you don't make deviled eggs, your family member that makes the eggs in the family, how do they make theirs? Or how do you make yours? Because you know what I heard somebody say, and I thought it was so interesting. Somebody said that they make their eggs by only adding Thousand Island. I'm definitely gonna have to put a sound effect there, because in my own mind I heard wow. I forget who told me that, but somebody actually said that. They said they put Thousand Island dressing in it, a little salt, a little pepper, and then it's the best egg. The best ever egg you've ever had in the world. Let's see, well. And I make a lot of eggs for catering as well. So mine definitely have something more and something different, and it doesn't consist of Thousand Island. The only dressing that's in my deviled eggs is this Hellman's mayo. Let's see it. Okay, so y'all let me know, because I thought that was completely unheard of. But while I have your attention, y'all tell me. But see, I just take it, and that's why I need a lot of room, so I can move it around and just mash it down. Like I said, there's no reason for me to try to get it super fine, because I have to put relish in it. Relish, you know, is a little chunky. And I have to put onion in it as well. Now I'm going to show you tonight. I am going to go ahead and grate the onion. I normally don't, because y'all like texture. I tell y'all that all the time. I'm a texture type of person. So I rarely want something to be completely smooth unless it's a sauce or something like that. If it has a mixture of ingredients, that ingredient is a crunchy ingredient, then I want to experience that texture. Onion is crunchy. I want to bite down on a bit of onion. It doesn't even have to be big, but I want to feel the onion in my mouth when I bite it. Not something that's been pureed down to where it's basically onion juice and only giving me the flavor. Now, if you have somebody that doesn't like onions, you can do that. And yes, I can honestly say that, because I have people that don't like onion. Onion is in my chicken salad, and they love my chicken salad, because it's all about balance. I say that all the time. Now, here's the really weird thing, y'all. Not weird, but I don't know. With me, it's just the only way I can get like my chicken salad, my egg salad to come out right is if I put the ingredients in a certain order. And what I mean by that, and this, if you notice, this is the way I cook. I always layer in ingredients. Layering in ingredients means you just putting in a little at a time and you're tasting it. That's what layering is. You put some in and you adjust. You put some in and you adjust until you get it perfect. So And it makes sense to me to cook that way, because especially when you're talking about things like sweets. I was telling my friend the other day, she loves desserts. And I was telling her that I finally just realized with sweet potato pie, you know, my mom gave me a recipe, and every time I found myself putting more sugar and more this and more that, and it was always different. And then I realized it's because the sweet potatoes, some sweet potatoes are sweeter than others. Just like a watermelon. Some sweet potatoes are sweeter than others. Just think about it. So sometimes you're going to feel like, I need a little more butter. Anyway, same thing with this. I put the ingredients in a certain order. Like if I put my relish in here right now, I always start by seasoning my egg with my salt. And that's another thing you'll see. You probably wonder why I don't always use my seasoning, y'all. I made this seasoning for people who don't know how to layer seasonings, have a difficult time flavoring their food. That's why this is UEKG Season It All. So I use it most times, but I don't, because I mean, it's not cheap to make. So I more or less use this as a finisher. If I put it on something, I'll put it on there at the end. Or, you know, when I'm cooking with it, this won't be the only thing you see me cook with, because I layer in flavors. But I made it so that people who don't cook that often would have one main seasoning that they could use on everything. But that's my UEKG, y'all. It's $8 a bottle. I ship it, and it is available. No, that's the only basic salt I use. And then after it is seasoned, then I go in with the mayonnaise, because now I'm ready to bring it together. I don't like a dry deviled egg. I like my deviled egg pretty wet. Okay, so I'll start out with a good bit. And then when I'm doing the mayonnaise, I'm focused on consistency. Okay, I already have it salted. Now I'm focused on the consistency. Now some people may not use as much mayo as I do, and it'll still taste good. It's just that I have a certain way of doing things, and that's how my flavors for my pasta salad, my egg salad, or deviled eggs, whichever you want to call it, my chicken salad, they all have signature tastes, flavors, and textures that you won't find anywhere else. See, like this is beautiful. That's beautiful just like that, but it's a little too stiff for me, for confections basically. The way I make it when I'm making it for people. Now I'm just using the fork to really smooth it out some more, but I expect it to have lumps in it. And now I'm going to use my spoons to make sure I'm getting it off the edges and off the bottom. And then I'm pushing it with my spoon. Taking the yolk out and making salad out of it if I weren't gonna really jazz it up. Might as well just eat a boiled egg with salt and pepper. Okay, so that's my next step, is the mayo to get it the texture I want. Now, I'll use very little mustard. I don't like a lot of mustard in any of my salads. So my mom would even say something like, oh, you use just enough to change the color. Well, I don't, if it changes the color, then that's too much. I don't even want it to be that much. I always squeeze a little out. I don't want it to taste like mustard at all. When I put that mustard in there, again, it's for balance. See how much I use? It's not gonna change the color. You just gonna see it disappear. That mustard is gonna give it a little vinegar taste, a little sourness. Okay? So salt for my seasoning. Mayo for the consistency. And now mustard to give it a little tang. Now that I have my tang, as you can see, I haven't put any seasons or anything in there yet. This is my base. This is my foundation. What is this? This is a tablespoon. Okay. Let me taste it. I'm going to taste it and see what it might need before I put the sugar in there. Because now, with the sugar, what I'm attempting to do is balance out the flavors. Okay. Now in this case, and you know why that is, I'm a little off. I need a little more mustard, but you know why? That's because it's not French's. I don't mind buying something off brand. It's because the mustard is mainly for when we fry fish. And with frying fish, it doesn't matter. But in my egg salad, like if that were French's, I wouldn't have needed all this. But that's why I was a little short on my mustard flavor, because I'm using that Kroger brand. Okay. We're gonna have these deviled eggs tomorrow for Sunday dinner. That's another reason why I'm cooking them tonight, to show y'all. Use them, but you use them for your holiday with your ham, with your beef roast. Tomorrow we're actually having beef roast, so just imagine a good, cool, creamy deviled egg with a hot beef roast. Baby, it's gonna be okay. So now we have the mustard in there. Let me taste it again. Okay. Now we add the perfect amount of mustard. Now, what I'm gonna do, and see, even this relish is a different brand. One thing I will tell you, how most people use sweet relish, I use dill relish in all of my salads. You wanna know why? The reason is because of texture. I like to use dill relish because dill relish gives you some crunch. Let me taste it. No way, Jose. Ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit, for telling me to taste it. That's not good, y'all. This one is $1 too. But that one this one comes from the dollar store. Let me taste it. Baby, that Dollar Tree relish is horrific. Okay. Ooh. It's briny. Okay, Clover Valley. If the Clover Valley didn't come to play. This is some good relish. Now it's a little wet. See, you got to remember all that when it comes to your consistency. That had some flavor to it. That had some real pickle flavor. And so you have to be careful when you're scooping it out. See, I have the consistency that I wanted. So I don't want to mess around and use so much juice from the relish that it ends up making it loose. Nor do I want it to, my egg to just taste like pickle juice. because this is literally pickle juice. So see how I'm doing that? See all that? I don't want all that in there. I don't want it to taste like pickle juice. I just want the relish. But y'all, this, I mean, that's some good tasting relish. You gotta get some of that juice off of there, baby, because it is very dill forward. Ooh, thank you, Lord, for not letting me use that from the Dollar Tree. It was not good. Okay, let me get another napkin. And see, these are prime reasons why I said, like I said, I do it in order. I want the bits of dill relish, but I don't want all that juice. That's what makes your egg taste like juice. I want to be able to taste my egg. These are like accents. You want to be able to taste the egg. All the little bits of ingredients that are in here are accents. A deviled egg is supposed to taste like an egg. Well seasoned with just a surprise here or there. Cold Valley dill. That makes me wonder what the sweet relish tastes like. But I use the dill because I want the crunch. Okay. Use the sweet relish because they want it sweet, but that's why I just use a little sugar. See there? There's just speckles of relish throughout. Had I not used the paper towel to squeeze some of the juice off, it would have made my entire mixture just reek of pickle juice. You don't want that. Ooh. Okay, there it is. Now, the next thing, keep in mind I haven't put any seasonings in there yet. Oh, we are back. I had to find my handy dandy grater. But see how my onion is, I'm just gonna grate. Now this is going to change the color of my onion mix a bit because it's a red or purple onion. But I told y'all last night the red onion is good for you. Helps reduce swelling, anti-inflammatory. And I normally only grate my onion like this when I'm making tartar sauce. But I just wanted to show y'all. I didn't want it to be too chunky. So I wanted to show y'all, especially if you have people that think they don't like the taste of onion. You can always grate it. Okay, that's a crumb. Take that crumb from me. You can always grate your onion. Alright. I like that little bit of purple. Then I have my onion, which is a tart or savory flavor. I also have my mustard, my pickle. Now I go in with a little sugar. This is to balance it out. It's not going to taste sweet. It's just going to balance it out. Hopefully now you can see why I mix it in a certain order based on the way I'm explaining. If that makes sense to you, let me know down in the comments. You can't just, especially if it's something you're not used to making or you're not that comfortable in the kitchen, that's why you can't rush. You have to take your time and just layer stuff. Try a little at a time until you get it how you want it. When you get to just throwing everything in the pot or in the bowl, you can always add more, but you can't take away. So always dry your eggs off when you get ready to take the yolks out. Okay, but something that I like to do, even when I'm cooking for other people, I'll put either cheese, especially when you have deeper cups like this and you don't want the egg, if the eggs are on the smaller side, you don't want them to just fall down inside this little compartment, and then people have a difficult time getting it out. So cheese is always a good idea for people that eat cheese. That's cheddar, and then this is Parmesan. Because I'm thinking about what I'm going to serve this with. So this is going to be good. Because again, we're having a beef roast, a bone-in beef roast. So that's a little Parmesan. You're just giving the egg a surface to rest on. Curly leaf lettuce. Butter lettuce especially. Like butter lettuce is really, really soft. And my point is because you could put it down in here, and because the leaves are so pliable, you see the egg right on top of it, and the egg just comfortably rests right on top of it. But I have this coarse romaine lettuce, and it has hearts in it as well. So, but when it's a pretty, you can imagine when it's a pretty green, like I'll show you, I'll put a picture of what butter leaf looks like. For those of you that don't know, it's really, really soft. Like, I enjoy butter lettuce, it tastes good, but I can't eat a salad with only butter lettuce because there's not enough crunch. So I have to mix it with a green that has some texture to it. But anyway, even like red leaf lettuce, that would be pretty too, especially against like this white container. If you had the red curly leaf lettuce peeking out from under the bottom. But my point is, you just line it with either cheese or lettuce, or you can do a combination of both, and then you put your egg on top of it. This romaine has a lot of hearts in it, so the hearts are the thick, chunky parts. We definitely can't use that. You turn the green side up. Okay. Let's see. So maybe we do one more cheese and one more lettuce. So like if you were fixing this for someone, if the person didn't like cheese or doesn't eat dairy, you could just use the lettuce. And when I do it for my family, like I am here now, this is just for us. On tomorrow, I'm just showing you how you could do it for your holiday table. You could either combine it. So by the time you get the egg, the lettuce, and the cheese, oh my goodness. It's like the most delicious deviled egg salad. Again, this is Parmesan. So there we have it. Okay, now we're going to go and carefully put our eggs. I always put the bigger, this part. See how, you know, you always have more white on one end. I always put that pointed down, because if you turn it like this, the gravity tends to make it bend. So when you position them, I always have the heavy part of the egg pointed down. Put it right on top of the cheese, whatever you're using. And see, it's so pretty. It makes a prettier presentation because your eggs are sitting up high instead of being sunk down inside of there. And then if people don't want to eat the cheese or the lettuce, they can leave it behind. Or if they're like me, if they're really a foodie like me or you, they're gonna say, ooh, they're gonna say, give me a fork. They're gonna want to get all of it out. That's what a foodie will say, pass the fork, honey. But this is Keisha's Crumbs, y'all. I tell you about all the little nuances, like how I just told you to turn the egg, how I told you about putting cheese and or lettuce under your egg. I told you about grating the onion. I told you about putting your seasoning in your egg mixture in a certain order. First you put in the mayonnaise to establish the texture you want. Oh God, it's so good. Just little things like that. Celery seed is what make people. Those are the type of things that'll make people eat your eggs and then go home and try to make them. They'll ask themselves, something in her. Mine still don't taste like that. What was that? I wonder what that taste was. What was that flavor? Well, because you're here with me on Keisha's Crumbs, you just found out. Now, because my mixture is looser, you have to be careful about putting it in there. It's not stiff, it's loose. So you don't want to overfill it and have it wasting out. Be strategic in the way you put it in there so the egg can stay level. I was looking for a smaller spoon, but I couldn't find one at the moment. I also like to make my egg mixture really flavorful, because when you have a lot of flavor in your egg mixture, you don't have to put a whole bunch in there. I'm almost always left with egg mixture after I fill my eggs, because I don't overfill them. I'm thinking about when they bite into the egg, I want it to be balanced. You don't want a whole bunch of egg in your mouth. You don't want a whole bunch of yolk in your mouth. You want to be able to taste the egg white and the filling. If you love deviled eggs, you need to try mine, okay? Y'all know how to find me. If you follow me on Instagram, I am I Want Confections, IWANTKONFECTIONS. I Want Confections. And that way you can always message me. You can send me a DM, honey. Oh yes. But y'all see how clean and classic these look. Baby, and that's why when I char those shrimp, when I char the shrimp with the ooey KG and put that on there, can't go wrong. After I put on the ooey KG, make sure you can see it. There you go. Alright y'all, here we are with our stuffed egg, and they are delicious. You were able to see me make them from beginning to end, and here are the few that I've made and put on my little plate. I have 3 eggs here. Told y'all every time I cook, I'm going to sit and sample it with you. And that's the rest of that little bacon from last night. Baby, y'all better be saving y'all leftovers in this economy. It's amazing the things that cross my mind. As I was finishing these eggs, I said to myself, now Lord, what about the people that don't eat leftovers? Are there still people in this world that claim they don't eat leftovers? Because waste not, want not. So this bacon that's left, I just rewarmed it, chopped it up. Some of those sweet peppers. And then you have 3 eggs. Okay. You could put the bacon on the egg by itself with nothing else, but to me, it reminds you of breakfast when you do that. So I like to put a piece of bacon and a piece of a pepper. That's good. And I am gonna stick this. I have to because it's gonna be really messy otherwise. So one moment, please. One moment. Like I tell my clients, one moment, please. Y'all, trust me, when something ever done come out right, I'm gonna tell you this is so delicious. I normally do a jalapeno. These are called sweet peppers. There, I think, did I show it to you? If I didn't show you what the thing looked like in the jar, I will. Yeah, I showed it to you because you saw it when I showed you the ingredients. Now, normally, if I were by myself, I wouldn't stick the whole egg in my. Eggs are filling. And then when you see it's the contrast in flavor, and that's what, just like with catering, I tell people, when you have a bunch of the same stuff, people don't feel as full because mentally they're not satiated. But when you have a variety of things, when the person is eating and it's a real experience that's happening in their mouth, and the mouths are so close to the brain, it makes a difference. Like I just ate these 2 eggs. I could eat this last egg. That's very well dinner. If they was just a plain egg without this spicy, smoky bacon and that bit of spice from the pepper, see all of that that's going on in terms of texture and flavor, it's making me feel more satisfied because it's a lot going on, but in a good way. Everything is balanced. That's the last one, y'all. See that? I showed you step by step. Keisha's crumbs. I gave you the crumbs. Make sure you catch them. All those little crumbs what makes the difference. They talk about the crumbs in the Bible, baby. The crumbs are what make the difference, honey. It depends on where you get the crumbs from. Where did the crumbs fall from? Who are the source of the crumbs? Crumbs make a difference, so I hope y'all caught those crumbs that I shared on today regarding how to make some delicious deviled eggs. And even if you make your own version but you make them differently, try them the way I showed you. Make sure you taste your filling throughout. Don't get it too salty. Don't get it too sweet. Don't put too much of anything in there. Drain your relish off if you have to. Try Dill relish like I use. Drain that juice off. Mix everything together, and you are guaranteed to be satisfied. Okay? So it was nice being here with y'all today for holiday item number 29, Keisha's Crumbs Stuffed Eggs. See y'all tomorrow.